Hey guys, what a fucked week 2, am I right? So many injuries. Actually, I was considering not putting out this video until tomorrow because I didn't want to affect any waiver wire pickups, but I'm bored and I have some time to kill. So here's the recap. This weekly recap is brought to you by Sweet James Burgener. If the Dominican Sue stomps on your balls, you need Sweet James. Alright, I think only 3 of you were going to get that reference, but I thought it was funny. Anyways, here goes. No team took a worse beating than It Hurts when AP. Knicks top running backs Adrian Peterson and Amir Abdullah and even Thomas Rawls sitting on his bench, they all went down with injuries and are likely to miss time. No one else on Knicks' team scored much, and he posted the second worst single-week score in Castillo Desnudo history, behind Eric's 36 points from last season. There may be others, but I'm pretty sure it's the second worst. Someone might have to fact-check me. I think it's the second worst ever. It was bad, Nick. Real bad. Anyway, Timmy gets a cheap win, scoring only 80 points. But he also lost his number one running back, Jonathan Stewart, so he'll be looking at the waiver wires or send him a trade offer. Timmy's team could use some help too. Injuries didn't prevent everyone from winning. Kyle lost Danny Woodhead, but still put up 106.5 points and handed Joey his first loss of the season. Macklin, you son of a bitch, lost Doug Martin, but still had a pretty okay day as far as points go. I did the math. The average points scored in a single week last season was just under 89.5. So far this season, the average point total is just under 91.8. So scoring in the 90s, as Joey has the last 2 weeks, makes him a C+ fantasy football scholar. But you don't even need to score in the 90s to get a win. Just ask Luke, whose team improved to 2-0 in a very close but not high-scoring matchup. Going into the Monday night game, Kings of the North needed 19.5 points from Jeremy Langford and Ryan Matthews to take the win from Captain America. They combined for 22 points, and Curtis's team is still searching for that win. Fortunately for Curtis's team, none of them are hurt. They're all healthy. No one, not a single questionable guy. So that's some positive news for Curtis. Also searching for its first win is Shady B. DeKalb. In Week 1, Tyrod Taylor and Martellus Bennett combined for 6 points. In Week 2, they combined for 40.5. But they were sitting on Mike's bench. It could have been a lot worse for Mike, though. 34 of his 76 points, so almost half, came from his defense and kicker. House Terrell gets its first win of the season because Kyle Basa stuck with his quarterback after a disappointing Week 1, and because he drafted his running backs in the 3rd and 4th round and they haven't gotten hurt yet. I'm going to take a break here to give big props to Mike and Will for being the biggest and best Los Angeles Rams fans. They'll get to tell their grandkids that they went to the first NFL game in 20 years. It's quite an accomplishment, but even more impressive is the fact that they paid $100 for parking and sat through that pathetic excuse of a game where neither team could score a fucking touchdown. Kyle Ernsberger has nothing on you guys. The champ gets its first win in the biggest blowout of the week over Fat and Lacey. Adam's team managed to stay injury-free while Arian Foster went down early. Adam's team looks good, and he doesn't have to worry about D'Angelo Williams because he's got Le'Veon Bell just waiting there on his bench. But my team is ugly. Unless Antonio Brown goes off every week, it'll be hard for my team to score any points. Will rank my team as number 11, and I agree. Actually, I would put myself lower, but Mike's team is bad. Like really bad. But the one advantage that my team does have is me. I have the ability to turn this season around. I can make smart decisions, but I need to make smarter decisions. I made a great decision this week to bench T.Y. Hilton against the Broncos and play Mike Wallace instead. He ended up being my highest scorer. Actually, you know what? Fuck that. I did this on purpose. I've been playing fantasy football for a long time now, and I've gotten to a point where it's not even fun. I needed this season to be more of a challenge, so I gave you guys a 2-week head start. Next time you face me, prepare your buttholes. Will made a cute little power ranking video where he put himself at the top of the list. I understand you're excited about getting Jamal Charles back for a week until he gets hurt again, but you just can't lose and then talk a bunch of shit. I mean, who does that? No, I'm just kidding, Will. The video was great. I'd appreciate more of those. Des Bryant had over 100 yards this week. It was great. But America's team still lost to the Tecate Hammer Games. Doug Baldwin went down, but luckily for Ben, it isn't serious. Ben's team is looking strong, and he thinks, and so do I, that he deserves a higher spot on Will's power ranking list. It's early in the season, and this week showed that anything can happen. Here are the matchups for Week 3. Timmy vs. Besa, Will vs. Luke, Curtis vs. Mike, Joey vs. Nick, Brian vs. Kyle, and Ben vs. Adam. Good luck.